Hey folks, this is Mike from Guns and Hunting. I made a video over the weekend about we were shooting clay birds down at the Isaac Walton League, and I had my Browning Sweet 16. I just want to go into depth with it a little more. This is an original Belgian-made gun, and it even says it right on the barrel, the side where the injection port is. It says made in Belgium. And like I said, this is a Sweet 16. If it's a regular 16 gauge, it will not have the engraving on it, and it will not say Sweet 16. So I'm going to try to get a little closer here. You can see right there it says Sweet 16, and the engraving on the side of the receiver says Browning, and you see the engraving on the top there of the receiver. And what makes this a Sweet 16 compared to the regular 16 is that, of course, like I said, it'll say Sweet 16 on the receiver, but on the inside of the receiver, if you were to look from the loading port in, there's machining cuts in there, like where they took a mill and like a keyway cutter and cut grooves in there to take some weight out of the gun. And then also back in the stock here, they actually hollow out some of the stock. And I think another thing is the forearm is a little more narrow this way, you know, a little slimmer. And it's just actually about a pound lighter. Another thing that makes it, like I said, the Sweet 16 is the gold trigger. If it's the regular 16, it will not have it. And one of the features that these guns have on them, whether it's a Belgium gun or a Japanese gun, is what they call a magazine cutoff switch. And let's say you're out hunting in the field and you have, like, I don't know, number 6 shot in, and it's a windy day, and you say, well, I want to put a number 4 shot in. Well, instead of ejecting all your shells, which you do, you flip this over like that, goes from this side to here, flip that over, pull your bolt back, and it will just eject the shell in the chamber. The tube in the magazine will stay where they're at. Then you put your shell back in the chamber, hit your slide release, and then you flip this back over. I know I use it a lot, like when I'm hunting at the game lands. If I have to cross the road, you know, I'll flip that over and I'll eject the shell, cross the road with my dog, and then, you know, put the shell back in and, you know, slide it back over. But yeah, this is, like I said, an original Belgium gun. I refinished the wood myself. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think I did a pretty good job on it. I didn't sand any of the checkering. I got a toothbrush with, you know, some mineral spirits, and got in here where the checkering is and got all the finish out of it, whether it's lacquer or varnish or whatever they used. And you know, so I didn't sand any of the checkering. The checkering is actually pretty good. And then I had the bluing redone. Local gunsmith here in York, he did it. Really, in the video, you can't tell what this bluing is like. I mean, it does not describe it. The bluing on this gun is exquisite. And sometimes in these guns, you have problems with this screw right here. And what this screw does, this screw holds the stock to the receiver. And sometimes the hole that goes through the pistol grip gets big, and you can actually get the stock, and actually it'll move up and down like this. This gun's tight. This is this gun's still in pretty good shape. I mean, you know, some of the spots the bluing is worn off, you know, where it was handling and stuff, and definitely the wood needed, you know, refinished, so I did it. Let me see, here's the other side. And like I said, you see more engraving here on the gun. That designates it the Sweet 16. Gold-plated trigger. And you look on the bottom there, there's some more checkering. And those trigger guards, believe it or not, were hand checkered. Everyone was hand checkered. And I'm gonna see if I can show you in here. Might not be able to see, but there's like 2 notches cut out. That's some of those milling marks I was telling you about, that they machined some of the metal away in the receiver here to cut back on the weight. Now this gun was made in 1953, and another way you can tell this is a Sweet 16 is you have to look here at the serial number. I don't know if you can see it, but it has an S in the upper left hand corner, and then it has the serial number 2740. The S designates it's a Sweet 16. That's another way you can tell you have a real Sweet 16. Wonder if it'll show me here on the barrel. I don't know if you guys can see it. Made in Belgium, right there. And another way, one of the things you can tell how this gun is choked, excuse me, is these little asterisks. I don't know if you can see them, but it's 2 little asterisks there, and that designates the choke. 1 asterisk is a full choke, 2 is a modified, 3 is an improved cylinder, and I think 4 is a skeet. And you can contact Browning and call the customer service and ask for their I don't know what you really call it, historical services. Give them the serial number of your gun, and it costs money. It's like $40, and they'll send you a certificate of when the gun was made. I mean, when it was sold, how much it was sold, and you know, the place of business it was sold to. Like mine here, it was says serial number S2740 is listed in our records as a Browning Sweet 16 16-gauge shotgun with 26-inch barrel choked modified. This gun was manufactured in Belgium. And it said this shotgun sold for $87.80 March 26, 1954 on invoice number. Then it gives you the number there, and it was, you know, tells you where it was sold at. But if you want to actually date when your gun was made, go on YouTube and just, you know, type in or talk into it how to date Browning A5 Sweet 16. And there's a place called Arts Gun Shop. They specialize in rebuilding these guns, and you give them the gun, and when they're done with it, it'll look like it came out of Liège, Belgium, brand new, out of the box, just 1 day ago. I mean, they refinished the wood, they recut the checkering, they recut the engraving, everything. It's like, you know, when someone does a frame off restoration on a hot rod, same thing. It's a brand new gun. One thing I would like to tell you about is they have a bronze friction ring set up on these guns. Depending on how you set the friction ring up, it's going to designate whether it's for like a light clay target load or a, how can I say it, like a hunting load. I'll show you here. Okay, now you see that bronze friction ring. There's a black ring around it and there's a black ring below it. With that black ring below it, you want to put it on with the bevel up if you want to shoot with like a standard pheasant hunting load. And if you want to shoot a light claybird load, all you do is pull that off, pull your magazine spring off, and take this piece and put it down here, put your magazine spring on, and put your bronze friction piece back on, and that you can shoot light loads with. But here is one more thing I wanted to show you since I had the barrel off. Another way you can designate this as a Sweet 16 are these holes in the barrel ring that goes around the magazine. There's 3 holes there. Those were machined out again to cut down on weight, and that's another way you can designate whether you have a Sweet 16 or a standard 16 gun. All right, I put my gun back together real quick, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted to tell you about my gun a little bit and some information. And you know, another problem you can run into with these guns is up here on the magazine cap. Now these are inertia guns. These are not gas operated guns. And on these guns, when you shoot, the action comes back and ejects the shell. Well, when the action comes back, the barrel moves with the action. The whole barrel moves. You know, you shoot, the barrel moves back, whatever, about 3 inches roughly, ejects the shell. And then when it loads another shell in, the barrel moves back forward. But one thing, a bad habit people got into doing was tightening these magazine caps too hard. People, you would see the end of the magazine cap here would have like plier marks in it from people tightening them up so hard, and the next thing you know, you get cracks in the stock. If you get one of these and you take it apart to clean it, just hand tight, that's it. Push the barrel down in, slide your forearm on, and just put this just hand tight, not real hard, just turn it until it stops clicking. Then you know you have it tight enough. Because you have it too tight, like I said, it's going to crack that forearm. But I was lucky. Like I said, this is a pretty tight gun. You know, everything's really good on it. And these Belgian-made guns, these things are a work of art. I'm telling you. You heard that saying, you don't know what you got? Well, this is it right here. I have a Remington 1187 Premier. Great gun, nothing wrong with it. You know, you pull the action back on that, and you know, you can hear it click and clatter a little bit. You pull the action back on this thing, I mean, you don't hear anything rattle. These guns are all machined parts on the inside and hand fitted. These were, and still are, a premium gun. Now you get this gun and you shake it, you don't hear anything rattle in this gun. It's as tight as it was the day it was made. That's how good they made these guns. So like I said, this isn't my normal go-to gun. This is the gun that I started out my lab, Payton. He'll be 11 this year. His first hunting trip, I used this gun. And I finished up his hunting career with this gun. And when I get my pup, hopefully, he'll be ready this fall. I'm going to start his hunting with this gun here. This gun is just incredible. Like I said, these guns were made like a Swiss watch. Everything's machined, hand fitted. You know, it's just incredible how these guns were made. There was no, you know, big assembly line. Yes, there was an assembly line, you know, do the machine work and so on and so forth, but each gun was hand fitted, all the internal parts. It's incredible. So if you ever can get your hands on one of these and you really want to consider getting one, get it now. I mean, there's, you know, they're still out there, and there's still plenty of parts made, but when I retire, I'm going to send this gun to Art's Gun Shop, and I'm going to have him, you know, refinish it the correct way. And like I said, they'll rechecker the wood and everything. They'll recut the engraving in the receiver and stuff. It probably costs about $1,100 to do it, but I'm going to have a gun worth about $2,400. He says when he gets these Sweet 16s in, he puts them on one of those gun auction websites, and a week or less they're gone. That's how hot these are. So if you got one, take care of it. All right. This is Mike from Guns and Hunting. I hope you enjoyed my video, and you know, hope you learned a little bit about the Sweet 16. Oh, by the way, that's a pheasant my hunting buddy Payton got me a couple years ago with this gun. So anyway, yeah, this is Mike from Guns and Hunting. Remember my motto: shoot safe and shoot often.